Hello there. This is Ben Schuyler, broker in charge over at Seabrook Island Real Estate. Hope everyone is doing well today. The numbers for July 2026 for Seabrook Island, the stats reported for real estate, all real estate on the island, have just come in, and I'd like to share those with you. So in July, I'm going to separate this into two categories. First, we're going to look at single family detached homes. So in July was actually a rather slow month for home sales. There were 7 new listings, and you compare that to the year before in July, there were 11. So that's a 36.4% decrease in the number of new listings, new homes that are available for buyers to purchase. Then we look at closed sales. There were 5, only 5. This is a 54.5% decrease from the previous July in 25 because there were 11 last year. So not a lot of activity right there, only 5 actual homes closed. But let's look at the average sales price. The average sales price of those 5 homes, $1,973,000. The year before was $1,333,000. Now, this is of note because if you'll recall, in June, the average sales price had really dipped well below what it had the year before. So it's nice to see a very strong rebound for average sales price for homes on the island, 48% increase from the month the year before. So that was nice to see. But it's only 5 homes, so not a lot of data there, but something to point out for sure. Now, another stat that I always like to look at is the percent of original list price received. So in July, on the homes that sold, they received 94.2% of their list price. The year before was 93.1%, so a little improvement there as well. Days on the market until a sale was 67. Now, the year before, the same time period, there was 102. So that's nice to see. That's a decrease in 34.3%. So then we look at the inventory of homes for sale. So not surprising, there were only 7 new listings in July. So the inventory of homes overall is low. It's 19 on the entire island. The year before this time in July, there were 29. So that's a 34.5% decrease right there. So that's homes. So now let's look at the single family attached condos, if you will. So in July, there were 5 new listings. So this is a little interesting because the year before in July there were 9, so that's a 44.4% decrease there. But if we look at kind of the year-to-date numbers, there's been 83 through July for this category of property, and the year prior to that was 77. So most of the months thus far this year, there's been kind of outpacing the number of new listings in this category than the previous year. So something to look into as we kind of move forward throughout the remainder of the year for sure. Closed sales, really kind of this villa category, 5 closed sales. The year before was also relatively slow in July with 6. So not a big difference there. But there were 5 townhouse condo attached closings, and in homes there were also 5, so that's only 10 actual properties that exchanged hands in July. So something to note for sure. Now, the average sales price island-wide for villas, $766,000. Year before was $655,000. So that's a 17.1% increase. So that's good to see for sure. Days on the market until a sale, 51. The year before, also 51. And inventory of villas for sale, 48 compared to a year before of 44. So very similar there. It's a 9.1% increase, but it's about the same right there. So that's the stats. It's going to be interesting to see as the summer kind of winds down where the market goes. Normally this time of year, as you can kind of see from the the year before, it gets a little bit slower this time of year before it really starts ramping up in the next couple of months, and then obviously dips a little bit with the holidays. So I expect that trend to continue, especially looking at our pending report for our office. Very clearly, the next couple of months should be much more robust, which is nice to see. So as always, if you have any real estate questions related to Seabrook Island, please do not hesitate to reach out to your Seabrook Island real estate agent. And if you do not have one, please literally walk into my office and have a seat, and I will match you up with an excellent, excellent agent. Y'all take care.